Secunda Kamani. Well, I'm joined here in the studio by dancehall artist Lady Chann and music video maker Jay from Rap City TV, and down the line from New York by Zak Cheney-Rice from the website Mike News. Good evening to you all. First of all, Lady Chann, how important, I mean, you're much, much younger, but how important were NWA, do you think, to young black people and young black artists?
Basically, it was more of a movement. I class them as, they was like political rappers. They were there to, like Dre said, to prove a point. You have to have the shock factor in order for people to take notice and take heed. I think they was very important and very pivotal to even to this day.
Zak Cheney-Rice, do you think, though, that they were much more of their time, or things are different now, or do they still have a link to the present?
Certainly have a link to the present. I mean, if you watch the news in the UK, you see a lot of the violence against black people that the police have been committing for, you know, the past year and even longer before that.
No, that's mainly over.
Right now,
that's mainly happening over there.
Mm.
That's mainly happening over where you are. It's not happening as much. So that's why I think that you should embrace it a bit more, because I think that it's actually 360'd from what's happened with the police back in the 80s attacking ethnic minorities to now happening again.
Sure.
Zak, yeah.
Sure.
Just coming on to look at what they were saying, there's actually that they showed that you could be in Compton and get out of Compton. Now then, it was really hard to get out of Compton, but they did, by hook or by crook, often by crook.
Well, but I think in terms of the music, they were using the music as a tool of a way of getting out of Compton. Simple as it is, young people in England are trying to do the same thing. Now, I'm not sure what's going on in America and their strategies on how to crack down on the music, but over here, young people are getting banned from even making the music. So they're actually stopping young black men in this country from being the next Dre's, from being the next Ice Cubes.
But I was wondering, Jay, what do you think of them actually as role models? I mean, you know, they're middle-aged men now, but actually as role models for black youth in America, do you think they were the right role models? Zak?
You know, I think one of the things that I try to get at in you know, my discussions about this group is, like, you know, it's sort of a both-and situation. They were very, very pivotal at their time. They spoke out against racism. I think in the current context, one of the major tenets of the current movement for black liberation in the US is that, you know, freedom for black people means freedom for all black people. That means black women, that means black trans people, black LGBTQ people. And, you know, NWA has a very complicated both musical, artistic, and personal history with black women especially. And I think that's something that can't be ignored.
No, that can't be ignored, Lady Chann, can it?
I think at the end of the day, if the cap fits, wear it. Like, none of the women were forced to be a part of it. Like, they're all consenting adults.
But wait a minute, I'm talking particularly, you know, the lyrics, they were talking about bitches and hoes.
But there are bitches and hoes.
But
so therefore, like Ice Cube said, he speaks, I'm paraphrasing, but his art was basically from what he saw. So if there's bitches and hoes, there's bitches and hoes. We live in the world where there's murder, so we not speak about it. Does it mean that it doesn't exist?
But that's in his view. A lot of women would not regard themselves as bitches and hoes.
Well, it doesn't offend me, because I know I'm not a bitch and I'm not a hoe. The day that I'm a bitch, I'll let you know. But the day that I'm a hoe, I'll also let you know. So if it doesn't apply to me, it doesn't offend me.
Jay, it doesn't offend you the way that particularly NWA talked about women and things like, for example, so what about the bitch who got shot? You think I give a damn about a bitch? I mean, don't you have worries about that?
Well, we need to differentiate what we're actually speaking about. In terms of them speaking about a specific bitch or a specific hoe, they're speaking about a specific type of female.
But
now, they're not speaking about the whole black female community.
Yeah.
In their view, though, what I'm saying is maybe the women that were being called bitches and hoes didn't want to be called that, because...
Well, then don't act like
They shouldn't have been in the music videos, jumping up and down with thongs on.
Clad,
I know it is very hot in America and they have to dress according to the weather, but in terms of being called a hoe and a bitch in a video and being in the video...
Zak Cheney-Rice, what do you make of this?
I mean, I think it kind of misses the point of the conversation. I mean, you know, at least in what I find important in this whole conversation, we're talking about not just, you know, a musical legacy. We're talking about, you know, what you know, for example, you spoke about what Dr. Dre has done physically in person as physical abuse of women. This is like actually, you know, material actions we're critiquing, and I think that, you know, you can't ignore that. I'm saying this is not something that you can take separately from their status as these cultural heroes. You have to take them as, you know, complicated figures who have alternately positive and negative impacts, and we can't look at them as separate.
Welcome to the human race.
Yes, but actually, there is a point, because, you know, whatever, however you classify certain women, you know, what apparently is not in the film is Dr. Dre's attack on Dee Barnes, which was an extraordinary attack on a black journalist. And surely, in terms of honesty about their past, that should have been in. I mean, it's kind of airbrushing.
Sure. I haven't had the privilege yet to have seen the whole movie, so I can't speak on what's in and what's been taken out. But if you're saying that's been taken out, then
the way I look at it then is that how many other things can you take out of a film? How many things can you put in a film?
Yeah.
Like, there's certain things that they might not want to even have in a film because they're not actually focusing on it as the main thing. Do you know what I mean?
But it's a part of their life,
although he might have attacked a journalist, do we know why he attacked her? I'm not condoning that attacking any female is the right thing to do, because it's a disgrace. You know what I mean?
Zak Cheney-Rice, do you think there's an element of danger now in still seeing them as heroes? I mean, things have changed in terms of the experience that, well, not entirely, of course, because we're talking about things like Ferguson, we're talking about Charleston. But actually, are they still the kind of heroes today for young black people in America?
I think their stance on police brutality lines up with, you know, a lot of our stance on police brutality today. I don't think that's even in dispute. I mean, what I'm saying is that I think that they're very limited in their conception of what that means and who that applies to. They're making an anti-racist statement, essentially, and saying that, you know, they are against police harassment and abuse of black people. But, you know, you have to take into account that the police harass and abuse black women, black trans people, black LGBTQ people, and, you know, their lyrics and their personal conduct in a lot of circumstances is completely counter to that. And I'm saying that you can have a powerful message about police brutality and, you know, still have really troubling and problematic personal politics and personal actions in your pocket. So it's complicated. You have to look at both, and you have to be critical of both.
Do you think the film, you have seen the film, do you think the film does brush over that?
Absolutely, completely. And, you know, when you watch the film, it's very clear whose hand is in the film and who it's meant to portray in certain lights. You know, Dre had a lot of creative control as far as I understand. It's not surprising that he, you know, that part of his past and his actions was glossed over.
But what about you? Are you both looking forward to seeing it? And what do you, I mean, will you watch it with one eye open, one eye shut, because things are different for you guys now?
Both eyes open. I'll take the whole film in, because growing up, I've obviously grew up on a lot of hip-hop music. NWA, I looked up to them when I was a young person, only because...
as solo artists as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, as solo artists as well, only because of the situation they were in. And I know this country isn't anywhere close to America, but for them to get out of the situation they were in by portraying what they went through and to be successful from that, if they never spoke about what they were going through, would Dre be a billionaire? Would he be would Ice Cube be in films? Would they be successful and be able to provide for their family?
Thank you all very much indeed. Before we go, 70 years ago tomorrow, President